There is a question that comes up in every Southeast Asia travel conversation at some point. And it doesn't matter if you're in a hostel in Bangkok, a cafe in Kuala Lumpur, or scrolling through travel forums at midnight trying to plan a trip. The question is always the same. Malaysia or Thailand? Which one first? And the reason this question never has a clean, unanimous answer is because these two countries are genuinely, deeply different from each other in almost every way that matters to a traveler. They share a border, they are both in Southeast Asia, they are both extraordinary. And that is roughly where the similarities end. So today we are settling this, head to head, round by round. Food, culture, beaches, budget, nightlife, safety, ease of travel, the overall experience. 8 rounds, an honest verdict at the end, and a recommendation that will actually help you decide. I have spent serious time in both countries. I am not here to be diplomatic. Let's go. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my stuff. Comment "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Round 1. Food. This is the round that starts arguments, and I am going to give you a genuine answer, rather than the non-committal "both are great" that you get from everyone who doesn't want to upset anyone. Thailand's food is globally famous for a reason. Tom yum, pad thai, massaman curry, green curry, mango sticky rice, som tam. These are dishes that have taken over the world. You can find them in every major city on every continent, and the versions you eat in Thailand, particularly in Bangkok and Chiang Mai, are better than anything you've had outside the country. The flavors are bolder, the ingredients are fresher, the heat is real. Thailand's street food scene is extraordinary and well-deserved in its reputation. But here's the thing that people who have eaten seriously in both countries will tell you. Malaysia's food ceiling is higher, the diversity is greater, and the depth of the food culture, the way it reflects centuries of trade, migration, and cultural exchange between Malay, Chinese, Indian, Peranakan, and dozens of other communities, produces a complexity that Thai food, for all its brilliance, does not quite match. Where Thailand has consistency and bold clarity of flavor, Malaysia has layers. Malaysian Chinese food is not Thai food. Malaysian Indian food is not Thai food. Peranakan food exists nowhere else on earth. Sarawak laksa, nasi kerabu, asam pedas, bubur lambuk. These are dishes that have never been exported, never been replicated, and can only be eaten in specific states and specific communities within Malaysia. Thai food is globally available. The greatest Malaysian food is only available in Malaysia. For sheer variety, cultural depth, and the ceiling of what is possible, Malaysia wins this round. Thailand wins on global reputation, street food accessibility, and the consistency of finding great food absolutely everywhere. But if you are choosing purely on the question of where you will eat more remarkably, Malaysia is the answer. Round 1 goes to Malaysia. Round 2. Culture and history. Both countries have extraordinary cultural heritage, but they express it in completely different ways, and the experience of engaging with that heritage feels completely different on the ground. Thailand's cultural identity is anchored in Buddhism, in the Thai monarchy, and in a very specific aesthetic: golden temple spires, saffron-robed monks, traditional dance, the Y greeting, that is immediately recognizable and deeply beautiful. Walking through the temples of Bangkok or Chiang Mai, watching a monk procession at dawn, attending a traditional Thai ceremony, these are experiences with a clarity and a visual power that are among the most memorable things Southeast Asia offers. Malaysia's cultural experience is fundamentally different because Malaysia is fundamentally multiple cultures existing simultaneously. On a single street in Georgetown, Penang, you can walk past a Chinese clan house, a Hindu temple, a mosque, and a colonial British building. In KL's Little India, you are in the subcontinent. In a traditional Malay kampong, you are in a world shaped entirely by Islamic tradition and Malay custom. The depth comes from the multiplicity, from the fact that Malaysia is not one culture performing for visitors, but several cultures simply living alongside each other. Malaysia also has layers of history that most visitors never discover.
ancient Hindu and Buddhist kingdoms that predate the arrival of Islam, a Chinese community whose ancestors arrived centuries ago and created an entirely new culture in the Peranakan tradition, a colonial history that left behind extraordinary architecture, legal systems, and linguistic traces, and indigenous communities in Sabah, Sarawak, and the peninsula, whose traditions stretch back thousands of years. Thailand wins on visual impact and cultural clarity. It is easier to engage with, easier to understand, and more consistently spectacular in its presentation. Malaysia wins on depth, diversity, and the kind of cultural discovery that rewards the curious traveler who is willing to look beyond the surface. Round 2 is a draw, but a draw with a clear recommendation. If you want cultural spectacle, Thailand. If you want cultural complexity, Malaysia.
Round 3, beaches. This round goes to Thailand, and it is not particularly close. Thailand has some of the most iconic and genuinely beautiful beaches in the world. The Phi Phi Islands, Railay Beach, accessible only by boat, Koh Lanta, Koh Samui, Koh Tao, arguably the best value scuba diving destination on the planet. The Andaman Coast and the Gulf of Thailand offer two completely different beach experiences, and between them cover virtually every type of beach holiday imaginable, from party beach to deserted cove to luxury resort to barefoot dive destination. Malaysia has good beaches. Langkawi is genuinely beautiful, duty-free, lush, with a dramatic landscape of jungle-covered limestone hills meeting the Andaman Sea. The Perhentian Islands off the east coast are spectacular, pristine water, excellent snorkeling and diving, and a relaxed pace that is becoming harder to find in Thailand's more famous islands. Redang, Tiaman, the beaches of Sabah, Malaysia's coastal options are not poor. But Thailand's beaches are more consistently stunning, more varied, more developed for the kind of experience most beach travelers are looking for, and more reliably accessible. The infrastructure around Thailand's beach destinations is better, the range of price points is wider, and the sheer visual drama of places like Railay Beach or the Phi Phi Islands, limestone karst towers rising from turquoise water, is simply unmatched in Malaysia. If beaches are your primary reason for going, Thailand first. No argument. Round 3 goes to Thailand. Round 4, budget and value. Both Malaysia and Thailand are considered excellent value destinations by global standards, but they are not equal, and the difference matters depending on your travel style. Thailand is cheap by Western standards. Street food is inexpensive. Budget guest houses are everywhere. Getting around by song tao, tuk-tuk, and overnight bus is affordable. The budget traveler infrastructure in Thailand, particularly on the backpacker trail between Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and the islands, is extremely developed and very well priced. Malaysia is cheaper. Not marginally cheaper, noticeably cheaper across most categories that matter to a traveler. Hawker food in Malaysia is among the most affordable quality food in the world. A full meal at a hawker center in KL or Penang, multiple dishes, a drink, dessert, will cost you less than $2. Accommodation in Malaysian cities offers better quality per dollar than comparable accommodation in Bangkok or Chiang Mai. Public transport, particularly the KL metro system, is clean, efficient, and very inexpensive. And the Malaysian ringgit's exchange rate against most Western currencies makes every dollar, pound, or euro go significantly further than it does in Thailand. The honest budget comparison works out roughly like this. A comfortable daily budget in Thailand, decent guest house, street food 3 meals, some activities, sits at around 1,500 to 2,500 Thai baht, which is roughly 40 to 70 US dollars. The equivalent experience in Malaysia, comparable accommodation, hawker food 3 meals, transport, sits at around 100 to 150 Malaysian ringgit, which is roughly 22 to 35 US dollars. Malaysia is consistently 30 to 50% cheaper for a comparable travel experience. Round 4 goes to Malaysia. Round 5, nightlife. Thailand wins this round, and it wins it convincingly. Bangkok's nightlife is among the most extraordinary urban entertainment experiences in the world. Rooftop bars with skyline views that will make your jaw drop, mega clubs that don't get started until midnight, jazz bars in colonial buildings, night markets that run until 3 a.m., the infamous Khao San Road, Siloam and Sukhumvit for everything from casual street drinking to world-class clubs. And the sheer scale and variety of what Bangkok offers after dark is matched by very few cities anywhere on the planet. Chiang Mai has a thriving bar scene with a more relaxed energy. Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, home of the legendary full moon
Party offer beach nightlife that draws visitors from around the world specifically for the experience. Malaysia's nightlife is good. Kuala Lumpur has a genuine bar and club scene, Changkat Bukit Bintang, Zouk, rooftop bars with Petronas Tower views, live music venues. For a capital city with a mixed religious demographic, KL punches well above what many visitors expect. But it is not Bangkok. The scale is smaller, the hours are earlier in many venues, and the regulatory environment in a country where Islam is the official religion creates constraints on the nightlife scene that Thailand, which has a different relationship with these questions, does not face in the same way. If nightlife is a significant part of what you want from a trip, Thailand first. The gap is real. Round 5.
Round 6. Ease of travel and getting around. This round is closer than most people expect. Thailand is well established as a very easy country to travel through. The tourist infrastructure is exceptional. English signage is widespread. Transport links between major destinations are plentiful and well priced. Booking systems for accommodation, tours, and transport are developed and reliable. The sheer volume of tourists who move through Thailand every year has created an ecosystem of services designed specifically to make the experience frictionless. Malaysia is equally easy, and in some respects easier. English is an official language and is spoken fluently by the majority of the urban population. Communication is rarely a barrier in a way it can sometimes be in rural Thailand. KL's public transport system is genuinely world-class by Southeast Asian standards. Clean, modern, air-conditioned, and extensive. The domestic flight network connecting KL to Penang, Langkawi, Kota Kinabalu, Kuching, and other destinations is excellent, affordable, and run largely by AirAsia, which has its headquarters in Malaysia. Thailand scores higher for its developed backpacker trail infrastructure. The network of guest houses, transport connections, and tour operators specifically serving budget travelers between Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and the islands is more mature than the equivalent in Malaysia. Traveling independently through Thailand on a shoestring is something that has been done so many millions of times that every question you might have has a well-worn answer. Malaysia scores higher for ease of communication, quality of urban transport, and the ability to travel comfortably without needing to navigate a language barrier. The organized chaos of Thailand, while charming and manageable with experience, can be more stressful for a first-time Southeast Asia traveler than Malaysia's more immediately legible infrastructure. Round 6 is a draw. First-time Southeast Asia traveler, Malaysia is slightly easier. Experienced backpacker looking for adventure, Thailand's infrastructure suits you better. Round 7. Safety. Both countries are generally safe for tourists, and both are visited by tens of millions of people every year without serious incident. But safety is not a binary, and the honest comparison is more nuanced than that. Malaysia is consistently rated as one of the safer countries in Southeast Asia for tourists. Violent crime against visitors is rare. Petty crime, bag snatching, phone theft, tourist scams exists, particularly in busy tourist areas and markets, but at levels comparable to most major tourist destinations globally. The biggest safety considerations in Malaysia are the road. Traffic accidents, particularly involving motorbikes, are a genuine risk, and being alert to common tourist scams in busy areas. Thailand has a broadly similar safety profile with a few additional considerations worth knowing. The political situation in Thailand has resulted in periods of instability that have occasionally affected tourists. Coups, protest movements, curfews in Bangkok during tense political periods. These are not constant or predictable, but they are part of Thailand's recent history in a way that Malaysia's is not. The south of Thailand, the provinces bordering Malaysia, has experienced ongoing low-level insurgency for years and is an area that travel advisories frequently caution against visiting. The party and alcohol culture in Thailand's tourist areas also creates safety considerations that are specific to that environment. The full moon party on Koh Phangan, the Khao San Rally late at night, the party islands, these are environments where tourists are sometimes targeted by thieves, where drink spiking has been reported, and where the combination of alcohol, darkness, and unfamiliar surroundings creates risks that need to be managed actively. Neither country is dangerous. Both reward the traveler who exercises normal urban awareness. Malaysia has a slightly lower risk safety profile overall and a more predictable political environment. Thailand has specific high-risk contexts, primarily the Deep South and certain party environments that require more active awareness. Round 7 goes to Malaysia on consistency of safety across the whole country. Round 8, the overall experience. And here is where the real answer lives, because both countries are magnificent, but they deliver magnificence in completely different ways and to completely different kinds of travelers. Thailand delivers experience that hits you immediately. The temples are more spectacular on first sight.
The beaches are more immediately jaw-dropping. The street food is more instantly accessible. The nightlife is more intense. Bangkok grabs you by the collar from the moment you land and does not let go. The experience of Thailand is loud, vivid, dramatic, and unforgettable, and it asks relatively little of the traveler in return. The country is so well set up for tourism that the experience of being there feels effortless in a way that is genuinely enjoyable. Malaysia rewards the traveler who pays attention. The food is richer in variety and depth, but you have to know what to look for. The cultural experience is more complex, but you have to engage with it rather than observe it. The hidden neighborhoods, the regional cuisine, the indigenous cultures of Borneo, the Peranakan heritage of the East Coast, these are not things that announce themselves. They are things that reveal themselves to people who are curious and patient and willing to go slightly off the path that has been laid out for them. The result is that Thailand tends to produce travelers who had an incredible, electric, unforgettable time. Malaysia tends to produce travelers who feel they have genuinely understood something about a culture, about a food tradition, about a history that they could not have found anywhere else. Both are extraordinary outcomes. They are just different ones.
The verdict. Here is my honest recommendation after 8 rounds and a lot of time in both countries. If you are visiting Southeast Asia for the first time, go to Thailand first. The infrastructure, the beaches, the instant visual impact of Bangkok and the temples, the ease of travel, and the nightlife make Thailand a more immediately rewarding first experience. It will hook you on the region and make you want to come back. If you have been to Thailand and you are wondering what to do next, Malaysia. Specifically, come for the food, come for Penang, come for KL's multicultural energy, come for Sarawak and the wildlife of Borneo, come for the things that Thailand, for all its brilliance, simply does not have. Malaysia will surprise you in ways that Thailand, for all its magnificence, no longer can after your first visit. And if you have time for both on a single trip, which you absolutely should if you can manage it, do Thailand first, fly to Kuala Lumpur, and let Malaysia be the country that makes the whole region make sense. The two countries together tell you more about Southeast Asia than either one alone. That is the real answer to the question. Thailand or Malaysia? Two extraordinary countries, two completely different travel personalities, and 0 wrong answers, as long as you know what you're walking into. I hope this breakdown gives you something more useful than the usual "it depends" that you get when you ask this question. Because it does depend, but it depends on specific things, and now you know what those specific things are. Drop a comment below. Team Malaysia or Team Thailand? Have you been to both? Which one changed you more? I genuinely want to know, and I respond to every comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. We cover Malaysia, Thailand, and the rest of Southeast Asia in more depth than anywhere else on this channel. Like the video if it helped you make up your mind, and I will see you in the next